people who bypass their own pain will neglect yours. It's the truth. When people ignore your pain, ignore your boundaries, ignore your frustrations with them, it's neglect. And sometimes the best way to kind of go about fishing for it and looking for it in a partner, looking at it as a red flag, is looking at how they interact with their own pain, looking at how they regulate themselves. I know it can be a bit invasive. I don't want to be in those psychology people who will be like, this person's a narcissist, this person's this. Even in the video I made about narcissism, I think there's a comment there, it's still up there. I only kept it because the title makes sense and narcissistic abuse is real. But I'm still not one of those pages who's like, you narcissist. No. Absolutely not. But sometimes we need to look at people's the quality of the behavior, get into that pattern recognition and understand, okay, you're weird. You're a weirdo. And a huge part of it is how they interact with their own pain. And for some people, it's different. I'm not saying that this is just like a stereotype and this is something we should do with all people, but it's, let me say, an amber flag for now because I don't want to be judgmental and I'm not God. I don't know how everyone is. So if you're someone who watches this and you bypass your own pain, my intention was never to upset you. It was only to kind of point out how it can be a red/amber flag. So whether it's, I made a video about this, the just be positive or everything happens for a reason, people, they're not the people to trust. If you see people who even do this systemically with misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, racism, ableism, it's like bypassing pain interpersonally is like neglecting history. It's neglecting context, and then it's the rise in the anti-intellectualism that we see. Pain is so important. Imagine if your doctors, which they do, which is funny, started bypassing and ignoring your pain and ignoring the symptoms of things that you have had to go through. People will be dying left and right. People are dying left and right because you have people who bypass their own pain. You have cultures and systems where it's okay for them to kind of bypass their own pain, and people are just like, okay, and they accept it. It should not be accepted. No, it shouldn't. When someone bypasses your pain, they're telling you that your truth is uncomfortable for you. It's true. Because we sit down and we want people to see us. Mirroring is one of the most beautiful things that could ever happen. Sometimes it's awful when you have these negative qualities you hate about yourself and you're trying to get over and you have someone that mirrors it. And it's why sometimes you see a lot of women from backgrounds that are very dysfunctional and then they like the bad boy. They like, and it's not even the bad boy. It's so like in these like TV shows, it's so simplified. Sometimes it's you meet someone who's gone through a certain amount of trauma that you have, whether it could be from certain dysfunctions like abuse, trauma, bullying, and you connect with them, but they haven't worked on their shadow and you have worked on your shadow, and then it's like you butt heads, right? But regardless of whether that is happening or occurring, you need people to see you, see your truth, see your past, and be comfortable with it. I always find it a red flag when people are just overall comfortable. They want someone to have a clean past. The video I made before this, or just filmed before this, is so, because it says the reason behind pain is transformation. I'll put it up there. But it's simply, I created that video to kind of let people know, especially and as it applies to this video, your past is your past. And it could be bad. There's certain things people can't ignore. And that's okay, that's your boundary. But people want people to be seamless. They don't want people to have a history. Not only are we neglecting the history of our societies, the histories of our cultures, we're neglecting the history of people. We're rejecting the lore. Everyone's lore is so impactful to kind of the person that they are. But for me, as long as they don't operate in that kind of whatever, as I'm seeing them now, that's different. And the truth is, if you're someone affected by that past, or you're someone affected by, not affected by the past, but affected of the action of the past from someone else, of course it can be triggering, then this isn't for you. None of the things I say are incomplete. I'm just giving my own advice, so don't ever take it to heart. But my point is, you need someone to let them look at your truth. Let them look at things that you've gone through and they hold your hand and kiss it. They look at your scars, they kiss it. They hold you. They let it be the things they love the most about you. One of my friends, and I'm going to of course say her name because I love her so much, which is like Courtney. I was saying how much like the things that she dislikes about herself are things I love about her the most. And it's the same thing with people that anyone I've ever been in love with. everyone I love or care about. Sometimes the things they hate about themselves the most are the things that I love the most about them, because it shows you, I think one of the most beautiful things you can have when you see someone grow, whether it's a child, whether it's your friend, is you see the things they've overcome. You see the way that they've evolved from the pain. That's the kind of person you want to be around. The kind of person who's real. The kind of person who doesn't allow moral superiority. I'm putting on my videos. I'm going to put that in the chat. Let them feel they're above someone because they have a past. You don't have to be forgiving everyone else. As if you have a racist past, for example, I don't want you near me. But it's going to be specific. But I still understand that that person has evolved. Or if that person has evolved and they have I don't want them to not be unhappy. I'm just protecting myself. Or a violent past. That's why I'd be like, okay. But then the truth is, it will be different for everyone. Let someone who sees you and understands you be in your life, and let them be the ones to help you heal. Because when someone sees you for who you are and they accept you, the exact experience we're supposed to have from our caregivers and most of us don't get, that's what you deserve. And that's what should be the norm. You deserve relationships where people can hold space not only for your shadow, but your light. But not only your light, your shadow, but honestly both. I think I just read the point wrong. There has to be a space where that is applicable. You have, in some cases, where people come in and they are very attracted to darkness, especially in a partner, because they're being in tune with themselves. But what you have is that person is not using the darkness and light are not in partnership. They're fighting each other. You need someone who has a partnership of the light and dark within them. That's what you need. And that's the perfect balance that you have. Every human being, I believe, is born with darkness and born with light. Whether it's whatever you believe in, let there be light, there was darkness before that. Always remember that. There's always darkness before light comes in. I'm pretty sure when we're in the womb, I don't think there's light there. It's dark, and then we're brought out into the world and there's light. But the partnership, when we close our eyes, it's dark. And then when we open it, there's light. But there has to be a balance of both. Then we go to bed, we sleep, we close our eyes. But then when we close our eyes, that's the subconscious. At night, it's dark. In the light, it's bright. That's how the rhythm of life is interwoven. And you need a partner, you need a person that not only sees you through that, but understands that that is important for a partner to have, and appreciates all of that in you. Whether you're having a CPTSD flashback, or you have a situation where you act out of character and it's not something that's completely vindictive, but then they understand it's something that comes to that place. They can even correct you and set that boundary with you, understanding where you're coming from, but seeing you and respecting the pain that you've been through. That's what you need. That's what you deserve. Pain deserves a witness, not a silencer. Were you silent or silenced? The latter. Nope. The greatest quote I've ever seen is from this movie, and this actress, I don't know whether she plays, I think it's an actress that looks like her. She plays Lorelai's mom, and I think the woman looks like her. You'll know immediately from Rory's mom and Lorelai's mom and Gilmore Girls. She says that what is partnership like? What should marriage look like? It's someone witnessing your life. And that's what partnership should be like in any case. They get to witness and this is why I love connecting with other people. You get to witness the growth. You get to witness how they've evolved. You get to witness how they have changed in the most wonderful way. That's what you deserve. You deserve someone who will be a witness to your power, a witness to your involvement, and a witness to your growth. That's what you deserve. And as they witness your growth, they won't silence it. When someone even is trying to set a boundary with you, they don't have to silence you. Well, they can tell you shut up if like what you're saying is offensive or whatever, but let them leave space for you to vent, to express emotion, to express your pain, and then they will understand you better. You know, when you're around people who bypass your pain, you start to self-gaslight. You start to gaslight your own emotions. I find these things very interesting. Let's say you're in a dynamic of family, and this happened to me. Then you have someone that doesn't come in, and then they start to see the things that you are like questioning. It opens your eyes. When you have people who bypass your pain, bypass your comfort, bypass your boundaries, Everyone around you will see the way that these people operate and the way that these people function, the way the people treat you, and the dynamic that you just believe is just normal, right? This is normal. So when you're around that, you become crazy because these people are trying to make you crazy because they make you gaslight yourself, and then they make you step out of character, not even in a way that is very I've stepped out of character and I've upset someone. No, I've stepped out of character as in, who am I? You don't even know who you are. Don't ever because once they start to allow you to self-gaslight, you don't even know. You don't even know. It's like being lost. You don't even know where you are. You don't even know where you're supposed to go. And this could be this could be physically, spiritually. You don't even know your path because you question yourself. You question, is it okay for me to exist? Is it okay for me to speak up? Is it okay for me to thrive? Is it okay for me to do whatever? You start to believe that either you're selfish for setting boundaries, you're selfish for choosing yourself. These kind of relationships eat at you. When we say people are vampires, when we say people are energy vampires, you around them, you're tired all the time, you're exhausted. This is how it occurs. You had them bypassing your pain. You had them neglecting, and the neglect may not even be the traditional neglect, like I've left this person alone. No, they're actively with you all the time. You talk all the time, but they neglect you by not acknowledging you and acknowledging the things that make you upset, acknowledging the things that make you unique, acknowledging the things that make you human. Someone not acknowledging you in all of you are is neglect. Someone refusing to acknowledge you in all the ways that you're supposed to move forward is neglect. Let's call it what it is. The message of this video is neglect. Don't allow anyone to neglect you that way and allow you to gaslight yourself and question the things you aren't supposed to question, like your autonomy, the things that you deserve, and things that you can choose for yourself. You're a human being. One of the evolutionary adaptations that we are supposed to have as human beings, as organisms, is self-preservation. If they have you thinking that not preserving yourself and putting yourself first before you, not filling your cup before you put it into someone else's or whatever, is wrong, is bad, I have bad news for you, buddy. You gotta walk away. I think one of the most important parts of a relationship is emotional safety. Are you safe? Are you safe with them emotionally? Can you trust them with your emotions? Can you trust them with your vulnerability? People spend their entire life in relationships, whether it's with their parents, whether it's with their loved ones, whether it's romantic friends, not being able to be safe, not even being able to trust that they can be vulnerable, trust that they can express the inner sanctum. I don't even know where that's from. I think it's the inner sanctum of their own meaning behind their soul. That makes sense. But truly, you need people who nourish it. And when that happens, they help you heal. Because people say, oh yeah, I'm not healed, but when I go into a relationship, it can be healing. Yes. You don't need to be perfect to be in that relationship, but you need someone who can walk with you, not hold you back and say, let's stay here. When you desire to move forward, truly, because that's what is happening when a person neglects you as they neglect themselves. We always have these cycles. We always have these situations where people always try to hold people back. We try to hold them from their path, hold them from their destiny, hold them from everything and all the things that they're supposed to be doing, simply because they don't want to move forward. It's why, and this usually starts with the earliest relationships we have, whether it's sometimes your family, whether it's your friends from high school, whether it's all these things. Usually the truth is most people don't evolve. And this is because me personally, I believe in reincarnation. Some people been here long, some people have been here for some time, and those cycles and also kind of things that hold people back, people will want you to be there with them. That's why when you talk about an opportunity, you talk about something that brings you joy, they have to minimize it, they have to bring it down, they have to neglect you in that way. Never allow them to do so. They're chipping at the corners of your soul. That's what they're doing. Protect yourself, protect your peace, protect your honor. And you need to have people who nourish you. I'm not saying self-isolate. I'm saying that the people that you choose, the people that you respond to in a way where there's trust involved, you have to allow them and you have to make sure that they are protecting you and holding you and making your vulnerability something that they can never even decide to disrespect. And always look at it. This is why opening up is important. I'll tell you why. People think, oh, I shouldn't be opening up. Look at how people respond when you open up. It has nothing to do with you. Always remember that. I open up very often. I'm an open book, so I see how people respond when I tell them that thing that I'm not supposed to tell them. If you respond about something you tell them and they immediately respond blaming you, red flag, cut them off. They immediately respond in a very, okay, maybe you've said something you're proud of, okay, cut them off. How people respond to your vulnerabilities and the things that you want has nothing to do with you. So when that happens and you then open up, you're not stupid for opening up. You were never stupid in the first place. It's not wise for you to then open up, see that they have decided to not see you, see that they've decided to kind of push you aside and make your emotions something that's not worth nurturing, treating like an egg. And then you say, okay, I'm going to continue to mess with them. I was going to say fuck with them, mess with them. No, bye. So when you open up and you tell people, okay, this is this aspect of me, look at how they respond. It's important. It's obviously different in a workplace. You don't have to go tell them your tea, tell them your lore. But honestly, seeing how people respond to you when you're vulnerable, seeing how people respond to you when you're going through something tells you everything you need to know. If they immediately push it aside, that's when I know, okay, I can't be friends with this person or I can't trust this person. If they tell someone else, it's the way people respond to your emotions and whatever is a reflection of how they feel about themselves and the dysfunction and the characteristics that they have, and it has nothing to do with you. So use it as a warning sign and not a reason to say, I'm going to be less emotional, I'm going to be less vulnerable. Absolutely not. The issue is there's safe spaces to be vulnerable and there's non-safe spaces to be vulnerable. But when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Okay. Choose people who honor your emotional process, not fear it. The thing is, most people, for example, look at the way and the conversations people have when they talk about therapy. It's always, oh, therapy, da, 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 da. Those people are people you need to stay away from and you should not be close to. No one has to be close to you. I think I made a video. No one has to be close to you. Those are people you decide, okay, move. Get out of the way, like, move. Go away. We don't want you in our safe space, because a lot of people haven't resolved things that are going on within them. And they shouldn't halt that process. And I'm not saying that if you've not resolved things that you've gone through, that you're the red or amber flag in this video. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that sometimes I'm in situations where someone can open up to me and maybe we've gone through the same thing, but I'm not necessarily involved. I would say, I really don't have much to say. These are the things I feel I can share with you. I hope they're not discouraging you. And I haven't resolved this on my own. And these are the resources I feel can better help you so you can move on and make a better, more informed choice on how you decide to move forward and how you decide to heal from whatever it is you've gone through. Simple. They don't have to then hold you back. And as you're going through that process of transformation and individuation, hold you back. They don't have to do that. Sorry. So in life, you have to let people honor the process of healing and honor the process of grief and honor the process of processing the pain that you've gone through, and let them honor it and nourish it. They should treat that aspect of you like an egg. And this is why I'm saying you're not stupid for being vulnerable. In fact, being vulnerable is one of the most powerful things that you can do. People aren't vulnerable enough. If you're connecting with people, you have to be vulnerable. If you're building trust, you have to be vulnerable. That's how that works. Most people build relationships where these things are not important, where these things are not like, they're not the thing holding it together. What's the best word? The concrete of it. And then they wonder why it doesn't work out. When the relationship is built on vibes, you have to be vulnerable, especially in romantic relationships. You have to be vulnerable. And whatever that person then does to your vulnerability that you have has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's not your business. How people respond to you when you express yourself has everything to do with them. That's their shadow popping up. And then you say, okay, that's not my business. And you move forward. It has nothing to do with your mama or papa. Or papi, or mommy, whatever. It has nothing to do with you. I hope this video was helpful. It's Asha Lovely Day telling you to have a lovely day. Your medicine woman here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested, and support me. I love you and hope this video was helpful. And if it was, comment how it helped you, or follow me on other social medias. I love you.
The Medicine Woman.